Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Abdullah Sana. I come from Burkina Faso. My teammate is Gerald Luande from Kenya. We have selected the topic, should African government prioritize funding or research on population-specific genetic markers for prostate cancer over international collaboration? We have the Affirmative Team. As introduction, I can say that prostate cancer is the second most common cancer in men worldwide, with more than 1.4 million new cases estimated in 2022. The incidence is high in developed countries, but also increasing in developing countries. It is estimated this cancer could become the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men worldwide. The factor risk is family history, Afro-Caribbean ancestry. Advances in metastatic forms are locally with complicated treatment. A family history of prostate cancer increase the risk of developing the disease with a higher risk if a first-degree relative, father, brother, and son has been diagnosed. This risk increase depending on the number of relatives affected and their age at diagnosis, particularly if it occurred before the age of 65. A small proportion of cases are considered hereditary, potentially due to genetic mutations such as BRCA1, BRCA2, and also. However, the case successful treatment of any prostate cancer lies in early occurrence and reproducible diagnosis, as the symptom only become noticeable once the disease has progressed beyond the curable stage. All this information should motivate African government to prioritize research into genetic markers population, which is crucial to understanding and treating the more aggressive forms of prostate cancer that affect certain population. That is why the main objective is to improve understanding and management of aggressive prostate cancer in African population by studying specific genetic markers to develop appropriate screening and treatment strategies. In the opening statement, I can say that the rise in the incidence of prostate cancer in many developing economies could be attributed to an increased screening up increase is a rise in diagnostic imaging and laboratory investment. This creates the need for African government prioritize research on population-specific genetic markers for prostate cancer over international collaboration. As conclusive argument, we can list the benefit of prioritize funding for local research. Firstly, defining the scope of problem. Research enable countries and societies to define the scope of the problem by conducting descriptive and analytical genetic-driven epidemiological studies. It will be possible to estimate the extent of the problem and the local genetic variation and absolute risk factors. Secondarily, we can say personalized adaptation of care. Locally funded research is less fraught of commercial biases, and this allows the development of screening and therapeutic products tailored to the targeted population genetic variant. These could be specific test kits to identify population-specific risk variant and nucleic acid-based medication that address the disease subtype. Local expertise. Conducting local research strengthen African expertise and resources across its entire value chain. This reduces over reliance on other nations and collaborate. Accuracy. African data can reveal markers that are not present for or are less common in other populations, leading to unique discoveries. Orbital. Why prioritize local research on specific markers? The burden is high and growing in Africa. Prostate cancer mortality is particularly high in several African regions, which justifies targeted intervention. Currently, under African population, many genetic risk variants that influence prostate cancer aggressiveness and treatment outcome may be missed if local populations are not studied. African countries need to prioritize local research funding as opposed to only collaboration to ensure resource sustainability in healthcare research and service delivery. The need for genetic representativeness in genetic approach that factor in Africa's genetic diversity supports not just precision medicine but strengthen the African research ecosystem. As closing statement can say that funding local research on prostate cancer has multi-pronged benefits, spanning diagnostic, therapeutic, capacity building, and overall increase in not only the knowledge base around the disease, but the overall well-being of the population. Focusing local research on specific prostate cancer genetic markers unique to African will help understand the spatial distribution and quantify the genetic risk variant unique to the diverse ethnicities in the region. Knowledge of the at-risk group will support both healthcare facilities and policy makers create more targeted intervention and plan the required resource appropriately. Strengthening local capacity, investing in local laboratories and scientists, strengthen research infrastructure on the continent will provide long-term benefits to other public health initiatives, as was the case of COVID-19. Thank you so much to all.